take back control.
Control my waters, Morris, baby.
My desire is to be able to travel like I used to 20 years ago. Just up sticks, move, no need to plan, no need to book, no need to get special paperwork, no need to worry about having an accident, tripping, hurting my leg. I could go into any hospital anywhere in any of the countries in the EU and get emergency treatment and still be able to travel home without the hassle of having to queue and get another visa back if I had to stay in hospital for an extended period. Bring that back. Rejoin the EU now.
I am forever European.
Freude, schöne, gute Funken, Tochter aus Elysium, wir betreten Feuer trunken, himmlische dein Heiligtum, deine...
We can and must rejoin the European Union because of the freedom of movement. Our British youth will be able to take part again in the Erasmus Student Network exchanges.
The EU is the world's most successful peace project. It used to cost us 37 pence a day to belong to it, or half a Mars bar. What have we lost? Well, we've lost the ability to defend ourselves against Russia, and of course in the future against Trump. So let's get back in and rejoin the EU as soon as possible.
After we got our EU passports, I had a company and I was often employing people on and off from all over the continent. In fact, we're still friends. But now Brexit has cut us off from that. And maybe you might say, oh, well, I'm too old or I'm too poor. I'm never going to the continent. I don't need to work there. I can't afford to retire there. I don't go on holiday there, so it doesn't affect me. But what about your kids? You know, we used to say get on your bike if you couldn't find a job or you wanted to expand your employment. Well, you can't now. They've taken the wheels off the bike. So come on, people, let's get back in there and put the wheels back on the bike for the sake of your kids.
The biggest disaster in my lifetime was us leaving the European Union. How do we get out of it? My honest opinion, get back in the EU.
Rejoining the EU is a matter of economic and political necessity to achieve sustainable growth and to restore Britain's place in the heart of Europe. The UK is isolated as the only country in Western Europe completely outside of all EU structures, not in the single market, nor the customs union, the Schengen area, or the Eurozone. This situation is unsustainable. Keir Starmer needs to find the vision and courage to drop Labour's politically redundant and economically damaging red lines.
Well, the gentleman just in front of you, and then I'll come over here in just a moment. Yep, this...
Good evening. Is it working?
Yes,
yes.
Yes.
It's working. Catherine's right. Political paralysis is the problem. The lawyers would spin with his invisible thread to make it work. You are also right, John, insofar as Labour didn't profit from the Red Wall. My question is about Labour. I talk to Labour MPs all the time, and MEPs. They tell me, shh, don't tell them. In 2032, we'll rejoin under the table. I tell them, no, because the damage will be complete by that time. Much of it will be irreversible, like a chemical reaction. And if you can't get people out to do anything now, what chance have you got in 2032? And they go, yeah, you're right. Any comments?
John?
Well, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious why the Labour Party, I think we've probably already said some of this before, it's pretty obvious why the Labour Party doesn't want to deal with it now, whatever its preferences privately might be. It's spent 14 years out of power. Getting involved in a referendum will use up a lot of political capital, is potentially very risky. And they've got a mission, to deliver growth. I don't think they want, therefore, to be diverted from the path on which they're currently embarked, albeit they're finding that that path is much stonier and has many more obstacles than perhaps they realised 6 months ago.
Anand?
No, I agree with that. I mean, and actually one of the reasons why, if you were the Labour government, you wouldn't be thinking in these terms is whatever you do with the European Union, you're not going to get that sort of growth that you need by the next election, and they need it by the next election.
The gentleman there, yes, with his hand up right in front of me. Yep.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Chris Morris. I'm the Chief Executive of
yes.
Full Fact. And
I recognise you now.
You're in the dome.
Full disclosure, Anand is one of our trustees, although he barely
You're amongst friends. Do confide.
We mute that mic now.
So my question is, you're all being quite polite. So I wonder if you could tell us.
Brexit was sold to us as a fresh start, but instead we've been left struggling and making deals with bad actors and those who don't share our values. Rejoining the EU means standing with our closest allies to protect our human rights, to tackle climate change and defend democracy. A democracy that champions peace and the right to travel, work without barriers and trade without barriers. So why drift alone when we can be stronger in Europe? And we didn't vote for decline, we vote for a healthy economy and good things for our people. So it's time to rejoin and rebuild.
And there is a serious question underpinning all of this, well, there's two. The first is, how did it happen? And the second is, what bit of it did you fall for? I don't think Peter in Gillingham fell for any of it, but he always has interesting things to say on this subject. What are they going to be today, Peter?
It's the Brexitist, Peter from Gillingham, James. Therapy is your word. You said it earlier. I named a book on Brexitism after our last conversation, so that's great. And I speak to people who are like Colin from Portsmouth all the time.
Yes.
So I have a certain level of endurance like you do. To answer your earlier question, the 11% composition, based on talking to loads of people, is really made up now of the unelected superstate people who think that the EU is ruling us with their three-pin plugs.
So we're better off out of it, even though I can't give you any real reasons why we're better off out of it. It's a really big success just because reasons.
No, but the three-pin plugs, you just said it. And so it's the unelected superstate and a few racists. Because Cameron has gone, the bus has gone, taking back control has gone, the training shoes have gone, and everything else has gone.
You don't feel that the country is standing taller in the world, Peter, as Nigel tells us?
Well, we can impose our three-pin plugs on the world, can't we?
On everybody. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, and it's perfectly reasonable to take the mickey, but there must be some substantive things that people say to you. Well, who is Farage appealing to now when he says you just need to believe more?
Oh, Farage is brilliantly clever, isn't he? He's realised.
In some ways,
he's got that demographic of the closet racist vote. So he's now talking about farming. He's now talking about other demographics because he knows he can't get any more of those, or that they'll leave him. So you
has to keep selling it, not take any responsibility for it, but keep flogging it.
Yeah, new demographics is what Farage is up to.
Yeah.
But I was cheered on Tuesday. I went to see John Curtis, and he said the time is now to campaign to rejoin, which is lucky because the Brexitism book is out. And Stella Creasy yesterday...
How dare you plug books on this programme that weren't written by me? That's outrageous behaviour.
Damn me.
Was that at the Britain in Europe meeting on Tuesday? Was that
UK?
Change in Europe. And then I
went to Stella Creasy last night, and she was disarmingly honest, but she got annoyed with me because I said that Labour needed more co-Jones or courage, and she said, we're very courageous.
Well, I don't think anyone's going to agree with that. And you're right to remind us that the spotlight now moves around a bit. It's hard to know which bit to focus on. But on the day of the 5th anniversary, I think the rearview mirror is a perfectly reasonable place to be concentrating our attention. Peter, thank you.
Keir Starmer takes some courage and just let Brexit go.
To make Brexit work.
Just let Brexit go.
Make Brexit
Come
work.
on, Keir Starmer. Just let Brexit go.
And to deliver.
Come on. Come on and let it go. Come on, baby.
Get Brexit done.
Come on. Let it go. Let it go, baby. Let it go. Yeah. Come on, baby. Come on, Keir Starmer.
Make Brexit work.
Come on and let it go.
Make Brexit work.
Come on and let it go.
That is a disgrace.